yourself down. oh, hi there. Oh, hi there. Meet this one. Oh, in other news, it seems to be kicking off over in Europe in the FIA. So, let's take a look at that and dig in. Alright folks, sorry for this rushed little video, but I thought it was quite a interesting little story, a little bit of drama. We don't get much drama in karting, just moving the camera there. Don't get much drama in karting, so yeah, this is kind of an interesting story. I suppose it's happened kind of before with KF and some of the manufacturers getting a bit annoyed. So tkart are reporting that there's sort of doubts about the feasibility of the World Championship in Brazil this year. We know it was cancelled last year. So this was prior to the event that we can't really name on this platform. The FIA announced that the World Championship for karting would be in Brazil in 2020. This was in 2019. And even then it was sort of like, oh, that's brave. I mean, the thing is, Massa's Brazilian, so it shouldn't come as any surprise. And I'm not actually personally against an event being held in Brazil, because I think spiritually karting sort of got quite an affinity with that place, and I think they've got a good domestic scene, and you know they run Sudan, which is badass. But it seems quite quite a leap. But anyway, tkart are reporting that 22 teams present at the event had signed a letter of common intent addressed to the FIA declaring in advance that they would not participate in the World Championship if it stayed in Brazil. The reasons were basically health risks and other complications, and obviously the complex logistical nightmare is to get to South America. I think tkart are saying that they should be able to get enough competitors so it can be named a World Championship. I've seen a few guys testing out there on Kart Brazil and other Instagram channels, so I don't think they'll have trouble with that. And then obviously they've actually spoken to Massa, and he says basically there's no plan B. He says, I got the letters from the teams and we're still planning to go ahead. He's saying that it shouldn't be a problem for travel. That's kind of that. I think tkart asked him about whether karting is an amateur sport compared to other major motorsports, and he said karting isn't an amateur sport. So yeah, I mean it's quite interesting. I think if you're thinking like the guys like Ricky Flynn and Forza Motorsport, obviously that's Jamie Croxford, so you've got Ricky Flynn Racing. So you can imagine that for teams like that and a sport that is so predominantly European based, you can see with these teams that are based in Europe, it's like a European circuit. It can be quite a logistical challenge. Now, it's not the first time karting has gone abroad for the World Championship. I know they went to Macau a few years ago. So it's not like it's unheard of to travel, but obviously with the current situation, you can see why teams would be averse to do it. And it's logistically, it's a complex process, so I can understand why the teams would be very reluctant to go. I guess it's kind of interesting because there's so much talk about costs and all that kind of stuff. And you got to think though, if you're Brazilian or North American or from Australia, like the cost to come to Europe is expensive, and now the sort of shoes on the other foot. But yeah, it's kind of what a complicated situation. I personally feel that if I'm being brutally honest, I don't think the World Championships in OK is worth that much anymore. So if I was, you think about private drivers, the small, are they private drivers? They all are, I guess, to some extent. But if I was looking at it, I'd go, well, you don't strictly need to do the World Championship. Most people that are racing in OK and Junior OK are they're off to cars anyway next year. So it's not an essential thing to have on your CV. To a large extent, the championship's been devalued so much that, not racing, I don't think it's that big a deal. And that sounds quite harsh, I guess, but, you know, you race... I mean, I struggle to know why you'd race, FIA karting at the moment, because there's no investment in promoting these classes as anything other than a stepping stone. But it's not like Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, where there's a significant number of super license points that you need to get. Like, there's an incentive, because I'm talking about it on the ladder spectrum, which I hate. But it's like, what's your incentive to go to Brazil? I mean, I think the article refers to, like, they've got to start sending stuff in August, to get the stuff out there. And I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But the story is an interesting one. Tkart are reporting on it, and we'll follow it very closely. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links below to our Patreon page and PayPal, and also the links to our merch store on Teespring. Thanks for watching.